All those birds are for me. Well, thank you. And the sea. It's mine already. Thanks. Surely not. Surely not. The sky and the stars too. Well, that's very generous. Perhaps too generous. Thanks. What are you thinking about?
Music.
How can you be thinking about music? You can either hear it or you can't.
Well, I'm hearing it then.
Oh. I read a book today.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. It was really interesting.
That's good.
Don't you want to know what it was about?
Of course.
Well, there were stories about how some people's lives turn out really well and others turn out badly.
Do you love the book?
Yes, I think so.
Why?
Well, it's interesting to see if other people, like dead people who wrote books, agree or disagree with what you think.
Why?
Because it makes you a larger part of the human community. Plus, it had some really interesting arguments.
Oh, and arguments that are interesting are good arguments.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't aware that an argument should be interesting. I thought it should be right or wrong.
Well, these particular arguments were very interesting.
Maybe you should make up your own thoughts instead of reading them in a book.
I do make up my own thoughts.
I know you do. I love how you love books. Don't be cross. I made up a song for you today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It's not interesting or not interesting, it just is.
Well, why don't you sing it for me?
It has too many parts.
Come on, let's go in the water.
Wait, remember this melody. Na 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 na.
Na, 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 na.
Pretty good. Here, clap it up. Na 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 na.
Is that right?
We'll practice.
I don't need rhythm. I've got books.
Don't books have rhythm?
Well, kind of. Come on, let's go in the water.
Will you remember the melody under the water?
Yes! I will always remember your melody. It will be imprinted on my heart like wax.
Thank you.
Welcome. Now, when are you going to play me the whole song?
When I get 12 instruments.
Well, when are you going to get 12 instruments?
I'm going to make each strand of your hair into an instrument. Your hair will stand on end as it plays my music and become a hair orchestra. It will float you up into the sky.
Well, I'm not sure I want to be an instrument.
Why?
Well, won't I fall down when the song ends?
That is true. But the clouds will be so moved by your music that they'll fill up with water and become heavy. And you'll sit on one and fall gently down to earth. How about that?
Okay.
It's settled then.
What is?
Your hair will be my orchestra, and I love you.
I love you too.
How do you remember?
What, that I love you?
Yeah.
Well, it's easy, I can't help it.
You never know. I'd better tie a piece of string around your finger to remind you.
There's string at the beach?
I always have string, in case I come upon a broken instrument.
Okay.
This hand. Is this too tight?
No, that's fine.
There. Now you'll remember.
Obvious. That's a very particular finger.
Yes.
You're aware of that?
Yes.
How aware?
Very aware.
Are we?
Tell me.
I think so.
You think so?
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking. Yes, just yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But maybe you could also get me another ring, like a gold one, just to go over the top of the string one.
Whatever makes you happy. You still have the melody?
Yeah, it's right here. What are you thinking about?
Music.
Oh.
Just kidding. I was thinking about you. And music.
Come on, let's go in the water. I'll race you.
I'll race you?
No, I'll race you.
No, I'll race
no,
you.
I'll race you.
Dear Eurydice, a letter for you on your wedding day. There is no choice of any importance in life but the choosing of a beloved. I haven't met Orpheus, but he seems like a serious young man. I understand he's a musician. If I were to give a speech on your wedding day, I might start with one or two funny jokes, and then I'd offer some words of advice. I'd say, cultivate the arts of dancing and small talk. Everything in moderation. Court the companionship and respect of dogs. The grilling of fish or toasting of bread without burning requires singleness of purpose, vigilance, and steadfast watch. Keep quiet about politics, but vote for the right man. Continue to give yourself to others, because that is the ultimate satisfaction in life. To love, accept, honour, and help other people. As for me, this is what it's like being dead. The atmosphere smells. There's a funny ringing in the air, like a kettle always boiling over. It doesn't seem to bother anyone else. And for the most part, you can work and socialise much like home. I'm working in the business sector. It seems here you can much better see the far-reaching consequences of your actions. Also, I am one of the few dead people who still remembers to read and write. That's a secret. If they find out about that, they might dump me in the river again. I write you letters. I don't know how to get them to you. Love, your father.
I hate parties, and a wedding party is the biggest party of all. All the guests arrive, and Orpheus is taking a shower. Orpheus is always taking a shower when the guests arrive, so he doesn't have to greet them, and then I have to greet them, and I don't like parties. A wedding day is for a father and a daughter. The mothers dress up and try and look like young women, but a wedding day is for a father and his daughter. They stop being married to each other on that day. I always thought there'd be more interesting people at my wedding.
Are you a homeless person? I'm on my way to a very interesting affair, where there might be some very interesting people. Would you like to join me?
No, thank you. I just left my own party.
You were having a party and you just left.
Well, I was thirsty.
You must be a very interesting person to leave your own party like that.
Thank you.
I always say that's a sign of a very interesting person. Don't you?
I suppose so.
So would you like to accompany me to this interesting affair?
No, thank you. I just got married.
Lots of people do that.
Yes, lots of people do.
What's your name?
Eurydice.
Eurydice.
Goodbye then.
Goodbye.
No, no,
don't go.
I'll just be a second.
Promise?
Yep.
Can't stand to let you out of my sight tonight.
Oh, you're still here.
Yes. I have a letter addressed to Eurydice. That's you. From your father.
That's not possible.
He wrote down some thoughts for your wedding day.
Well, let me see.
I left it at home by mistake. It got delivered to my elegant, high-rise apartment.
Well, why didn't you say so before?
You left in such a hurry.
From my father?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes.
I knew he'd send something.
It's just around the corner. It'll only take a moment. That's a very interesting dress you're wearing.
Thank you.
Eurydice? Eurydice!
Father!
You're really high up.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I feel a bit dizzy.
It'll pass.
Haven't you ever thought of getting a lift?
No. I prefer the stairs. Don't you think architecture is so interesting?
Yes.
But isn't this an interesting building?
It's so high up.
Yes.
I thought you said you were having a party. There's nobody here.
I prefer to celebrate things quietly with a few other interesting people. Don't you?
I suppose so.
Would you like some champagne?
Just some water.
Water it is then. Make yourself comfortable.
I can't stay long. I can see my wedding from up here. Oh, the people are tiny. Oh, look, they're dancing. Oh, Orpheus isn't dancing.
So who's this boy you're marrying then?
His name's Orpheus.
Orpheus. Not a very interesting name. I've heard it before.
Oh, well, you might have heard of him because he's sort of famous.
I can't hear you.
So, my letter, it was delivered here
That's right.
through the post.
It was mysterious. So, Eurydice, tell me one thing. Name me one person you find interesting.
Why?
Just making conversation.
Oh, right. Well, all the interesting people I know are dead. All can speak French.
Well, I don't speak French, Eurydice.
I'm sorry, I have to go. There's no letter, is there?
Of course there's a letter. It's right here. Eurydice, I'm not interesting, but I'm strong. You could teach me to be interesting. Orpheus is too busy with his own thoughts. There's music in his head. Try to pluck the music out and it bites you. I bet you had an interesting thought today, for instance. I bet you're always having them. The way you tilt your head to the side and stare.
I feel a bit dizzy. I think I should go.
You're free to go whenever you like.
I know. I think I'll go now, in fact, if I could just have my letter.
Relax.
Goodbye.
Wait, Eurydice, don't go. You need a real man. A man with broad shoulders. Orpheus has little fingers that would tremble to pluck a bee from a hive or pet a boy.
How do you know about my husband's fingers?
Someone who puts his big arms around your shoulders and leads you through the door at parties. A man with big hands. Big hands like potatoes. Someone to carry a cow in labor. Eurydice. My lips were meant to kiss your eyelids. That's obvious.
Close your eyes then. It's his handwriting.
Well, of course it is.
Goodbye.
Wait, don't go! Your trip.
Orpheus!
Eurydice!
We are a chorus of stones.
I am a little stone.
I'm a big stone.
And I'm a loud stone.
We are all three stones.
We live with the dead people in the land of the dead.
Eurydice was a great musician. Orpheus was his wife.
Orpheus was a great musician. Eurydice was his wife. She died.
He played the saddest music. Even we,
The stones.
cried when we heard it. Oh, listen. She is coming into the land of the dead now. Oh. We might say, poor Eurydice.
The stones don't feel bad for dead people.
Eurydice wants to speak to you,
But she can't speak your language
anymore. She talks in the language of dead people now.
It's a very quiet language.
Like if the pores in your face opened up and tried to talk.
Like potatoes sleeping in the dirt.
Pretend that you understand her, or she'll be embarrassed.
Yes, pretend for a moment that you understand the language of stones.
Listen to her the way you would listen to your own daughter if she died and tried to speak to you across long distances. There was a roar. And then a coldness. And I think that my husband was with me. What was his name? My husband's name, do you know it? How strange. It was horrible to see his face when I died. His eyes were like two blackbirds and they flew at me and I said, no, stay where you are. I need you to see. And then when I got through the cold, they made me swim in a river. And I forgot his name. I've forgotten all the names. I know his name starts with my mouth in the shape of a ball of twine. It's like, oh. No, I forgot. And then they took me to a boat. And I only just fit inside. And I looked down at the oars and I wanted to cry, but I couldn't cry, I just drooled a little bit. I'll try again now. What happiness it would be to cry! I was not lonely. Only alone with myself, just begging myself not to leave my own body. I was leaving. Goodbye, head, I said. And it inclined itself as though to nod to me in a solemn kind of way. How do you say goodbye to yourself?
like a train, but there is no
Train has
train.
wheels
And
and
the opposite of a
wheels.
wheel, and the opposite of smoke, and the opposite of a train.
I'm waiting for someone, I think.
Eurydice.
At last, a porter to meet me. Do you happen to know where the bank is? It's just I've only just arrived, and I need to exchange my money. And I would have bought traveller's checks, but I didn't have enough time. They didn't even give me time to pack my suitcase. That's totally empty. That's hilarious, isn't it? I suppose I could buy new clothes here, though, and I'd really love a bath.
Eurydice.
What's that language you're speaking? Say it again.
Eurydice.
Oh, it's like fruit. Say it again.
Eurydice. I'm your father.
Eurydice, I'm your father. You know, you remind me of someone. But I don't have a clue what you're trying to say. Say it again.
Your father.
Shut up, shut up! She doesn't understand you. She's dead now too. You have to speak in the language of stones.
You're dead now. I'm dead too.
Yes, that's right. I need a reservation for the fancy hotel.
When you were alive, I was your father.
Father is not a word that dead people understand. He is what we call subversive.
When you were alive, I was your tree.
Yes. The tall one in the back garden. I used to sit in its shade all day. Oh, there. Shade.
There is a problem here.
Do you happen to know if there's entertainment at the hotel? You know, like dancing ladies with big fans.
I named you Eurydice. Your mother named all the other children. Eurydice I chose for you.
Careful, sir.
I wanted to remember your name. I asked the stones. The stones said, forget the names. The names help you remember.
We told you how it works.
I remember. One day, it would not stop raining. I heard your name in the rain. Somewhere between the drops, I saw falling letters. Each letter of your name I began to translate. E, I remembered elephants. U, I remembered ulcers and thunder. R, I remembered reindeers. I saw them putting their black noses in snow. Y, youth and yellow. D, dog. Dig, daughter. Day. Time poured into my head. The days of the week, months, hours.
Talk so beautifully.
Don't listen.
I feel hungry all of a sudden. Where's the porter who met me at the station?
Here I am, miss.
Yes, I'd like a continental breakfast, please. Rolls and butter. Oh, and definitely jam. I like jam. And, do you happen to know where the bank is? Would you take my suitcase to my room, please?
There are no rooms here, miss.
I'm sorry? No rooms. Well, where do people sleep?
People don't sleep here.
Well, I have to say I'm very disappointed. I've had a really tiring day. I've been travelling all day, first on a river and then in a lift that rained and then on a train. I thought someone would at least meet me at the station. And I don't know where I am. And there are all these stones here and I hate them. And I thought someone would at least meet me at the station.
Don't be upset, miss. I'll take you back to your room.
There are no rooms.
Dear Eurydice, I miss you. No. No, it's not enough. Dear Eurydice, a symphony for 12 instruments. Love, Orpheus.
Yes, that will do. I suppose you want to take... Will you run me a bath?
Yes, miss.
Dear Eurydice, I love you. I'm going to find you. I play the saddest music now that you're gone. You know I hate writing letters. I'll give this letter to a worm. I hope he finds you. Love, Orpheus.
There's a letter to you, miss.
A letter?
It's addressed to you.
There's dirt on it.
Miss,
What is it?
would you like me to read you the letter?
Read you the letter.
You can't read with your feet. It's addressed to Eurydice. That's you.
That's you.
You. It says, I love you.
I love you.
It's like your tree.
Tall. Green.
It's like sitting in the shade.
Oh.
It's like sitting in the shade with no clothes on.
Oh. Okay.
I play the saddest music while you're gone.
Music.
Kind of like that.
Okay, go on.
You know I hate writing letters. Give this letter to a worm. I hope he finds you. Love, Orpheus.
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 That word, it's like I can't breathe. Orpheus is my husband. Oh!
Dear Eurydice, last night I dreamed that we climbed Mount Olympus and we started to make love, and all the strands of your hair were little faucets and water was streaming out of your head, and I said, why is water coming out of your hair? And you said, gravity is very compelling. And then we jumped off Mount Olympus and flew through the clouds, and you held your knee to your chest because you skinned it on a sharp cloud. And then we fell into a salty lake. And then I woke up, and the window frightened me, and I thought, Eurydice is dead. But then I thought, who is Eurydice? And then the whole room started to float, and I thought, what are people? And my bedclothes smiled at me with a crooked green mouth, and I thought, who am I? It scares me, Eurydice. Please come back. Love, Orpheus.
Did you get my letter?
You wrote me letters.
Every day.
Well, what did they say?
Oh, not much. The usual.
Tell tell me the names of my mum and my brothers and sisters?
I don't think that's a good idea. You'll be sad.
Well, I want to know.
It's a very long time to be sad.
I'd rather be sad.
Being sad is not allowed. Act like a stone.
Another.
Ostracize. From the Greek, the Greeks would decide who to banish, and then write the names of the banished people on bits of pottery called ostracan.
Ostracan. Another.
Peripatetic.
Peripatetic.
Yes, another from the Greek. It means walking slowly, speaking of weighty matters, invariant.
A learned fruit wandering through the snow. Another.
Defunct.
Defunct.
Yes, it means dead, but in a very abrupt, not the way I died, which was slowly, but all at once, in cowboy boots.
Well, tell me a story from when you were little.
Well, there was the time your uncle shot me with a BB gun. I was mad at him, so I swallowed a nail. Then, there was the time we went down to the ranch. I was riding a horse, and I lassoed a car. The lady in the car got out and smacked me. Your grandmother smacked me too.
Do you remember that Christmas when she got me a doll and I said, if I see one more doll, I'm going to throw up?
I think Nanny was surprised when you said that.
I think so too. Well, tell me a story about her.
Oh, well, the most vivid recollection I have of my mother is in the house, at a party, playing the piano. My mother was extremely animated. She could really play the piano. She could play anything by ear. We used to call her Flaming Salad.
I didn't know Granny could play the piano.
No, she never was the same after my father died.
Well, tell me a story about him.
Me and my father used to go duck hunting, down by the river. The night before, we'd call up old Frank, and he'd say, "Where are the ducks moving to tonight, old Frank?" Old Frank could really call ducks. It was hard for me to kill little ducks, but you get caught up in the fever of it. You catch as many as 10 ducks. If you caught too many ducks, though, there was a limit to how many ducks you could catch. My father would take them, then just hide them down by the side of the creek we were paddling on. Then, he'd check there was no warden. If the warden was gone, he'd grab the ducks, throw it in the car, and drive away. My father never was a great conversationalist, but he loved to rhapsodize about duck hunting. He always said, if ever I would die, it would be in a duck pond. And he did.
Something else. It's a story or someone's name, but I've forgotten what it is.
Don't worry, there's plenty of time. You'll remember.
Dear Eurydice, I wonder if you miss reading books in the underworld.
What is this? What are you? What do you do? Well, say something! What do you do? Damn you! I hate you!
We two alone will sing like birds in a cage. And when you ask my blessing, I'll kneel down and beg thee forgiveness. We can love and pray and sing.
For Eurydice? Yeah, E-U-R-Y. Yeah, that's right. No, it's no last name. It's not like that. What? I don't know the country. Don't know the city. I don't know the streets. I don't know. It probably starts with a vowel. Could you just... Would you mind checking, please? I'd really appreciate it. You can't enter a name without a city. Why not? Yeah, well, thank you for trying. No, wait, miss. It's a special case. She's dead. Thank you for trying. You have a nice day too. I'll find you. Don't move.
Wait.
Quick.
Bloody late for work. Back.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Knock!
Who's there?
I am the Lord of the Underworld.
Very funny.
I am.
Well, prove it.
I can do chin-ups inside your bones. Close your eyes.
Ow.
See? You're pretty.
You're little.
I grow downwards, like a turnip.
What do you want?
I came to see that you were comfortable. You're not itchy.
No.
Sometimes our residents get itchy and then I scratch them.
I'm not it.
What's all this string?
It's my room.
Rooms are not allowed! Tell her!
Rooms are not
Who
allowed.
made you your room?
My father.
Fathers are not allowed! Where is he?
He's at work.
Well, we'll have to dip you in the river again. Make sure you're good and done.
No, please don't.
Say it again. That's nice.
Please don't.
Say it in my ear. I like that. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. I mean that in the nicest possible way, of course.
I have a husband.
Husbands are for children. You need a lover. I'll be back. Make sure that she's comfortable.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. I'm right! Can't you tell? I'm right!
If a drop of water enters the soil at a particular angle with a particular pitch, then what's to say that one man can't ride into the earth like a fireman's pole? Eurydice, do you hear that? That's the note. That's the one right there.
Orpheus never liked words. He had music. He gets a funny look on his face, and I'd say, "What are you thinking about?" He would always be thinking about music. Sometimes we'd be sat in a restaurant, and Orpheus would look sullen and not talk to me. And I used to think that other people felt sorry for me. I should have realised that other women envied me. Their husbands talked too much. But I wanted to talk about him. I wanted to talk about my notions. I was working on a new philosophical system. It involved hats. And that's what it is to love an artist. The moon is always rising above your house. The houses of your neighbours look dull and lacking in moonlight, but it's always going away from you. Inside his head, there's always something more beautiful. Orpheus said, the mind is like a slide ruler. It can fit around anything. Words can mean anything. Show me your body, he said. It can mean only one thing.
Eurydice, before I go down there, I won't practice my music. Some say practice, but practice is a word invented by cowards. The animals don't even have a word for practice. A gazelle does not run for practice. He runs because he's scared or he is hungry. A bird doesn't sing for practice. She sings because she's happy or sad. So I say, store it up. The music sounds better in my head than it does in the world. When songs are pressing against my throat, then, only then, I will go down and sing for the devils, and they will cry through their parched throats. Eurydice, don't kiss a dead man. Their lips may look red and tempting, but put your tongue in their mouths and it tastes like mushrooms. I know how much you hate mushrooms. I'm going the way of death. Here is my plan. Tonight, when I go to bed, I'll turn out the light and put a straw in my mouth. Then, when I fall asleep, I will crawl through the straw, and my breath will push me like a great wind into the darkness, and I will sing your name, and I will arrive. I've consulted the footstools, the almanacs, and the architects, and everyone agrees. I found the right note. Wait for me. Love, Orpheus.
Hello. I got a letter from Orpheus.
What did it say?
He's going to come and save me.
How?
He's going to sing.
Someone is knocking. Who is it? Who is it? No one knocks at the door of the dead.
Who are you?
I'm Orpheus,
I am the Lord of the Underworld.
but you're so young.
Don't be rude.
Sorry. Did you like my music?
No. I prefer music with a happy beat.
Oh.
So, you've come for Eurydice now?
Yes.
And you thought music would get you through the gates of hell?
See here, I want my wife. What do I have to do?
You'll have to do more than sing.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Start walking home. Your wife might just be on the road behind you. We like to make it real nice, so people like to stick around. Keep your eyes facing forward. If you look back at her, then poof! She's gone.
I can't look at her.
No,
Why not?
because.
Because I look straight ahead, that's all.
Yes.
That's easy.
Good!
That's his music. I can hear him. He's come to save me.
You want to go with it?
Yes, of course. Oh. You'll be lonely, won't you?
No. No. Go to your husband. Have grandchildren. You'll come down and meet me.
Are you sure?
It's for the best. I'll take you to him.
Now?
Yes. Is that him?
I think so.
He hasn't got very broad shoulders. Can you look after him? Are you sure?
Yeah.
There's something you need to know. If he sees you, you'll die a second death. They're the rules. So tread lightly. And don't come out.
I won't.
Goodbye, Eurydice.
I'll come back for you. I seem to keep dying.
And don't let them dunk you in the river too long the second time. Hold your breath.
I'll look for a tree.
I'll write you letters.
Where will I find them?
I don't know. I'll think of something. Goodbye.
Bye. Wait, come back!
You can't go back now, Eurydice.
Face forward! Keep walking!
No, I'm frightened!
Your husband is waiting for you, Eurydice.
I don't recognise him. That's a stranger.
Go on. It's him.
I want my father, I want to go home!
You're all grown up now, Eurydice. You have a husband.
Turn around.
Why?
Because
stupid reason.
Orpheus braved the gates of hell to find you. He played the saddest music.
Even we,
The stones, cried when we heard it.
That's Orpheus.
Yes, that's him.
Where's his music?
It's in your head.
Orpheus?
You startled me.
I'm sorry.
Why?
I don't know.
You always
spell the
clapped
word.
your hands on the
Rhythm.
third beat. You couldn't wait for the fourth.
Why?
Remember,
There's a H
I
in it
tried
somewhere.
to teach you.
It's such a difficult
You
word
were
to
always
spell.
one step ahead of the music.
Re.
Your sense of rhythm,
Re.
it was off. I would say clap on the downbeat. No, the downbeat. It's dangerous not to have a sense of rhythm. You lose things when you can't keep a simple beat. Why do you have to say my name? Eurydice, I know we used to fight. It seems so silly now.
If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no need for tinkers.
Why?
If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no need for tinkers.
Eurydice,
I think I see the gates. The stones, the boat, the stones look happy to see me.
don't look!
Wow, that's the happiest I've ever seen them.
Think of the things we did.
Like,
We went ice
we
skating.
had a greyhound.
I wore a red sweater.
We had 2 cats and 2 dogs and 2 fish that died.
Will you talk to
A
me?
train looks like the opposite of a train.
Eurydice, we've known each other for centuries. I want to reminisce. Remember when you wanted your name in a song, so I put your name in a song. When I played my music at the gates of hell, it was your name over and over and over again. Eurydice!
Finally, some peace and quiet. Like the old days. No music, no conversation. How about that?
With Eurydice gone, that'll be a second death for me.
Oh, please, sir.
Tired.
Do you understand the love a father has for his daughter?
Love is a big, funny word.
That people should be seen and not heard.
How do you remember to forget? It's difficult.
It's not difficult. We told you how it works.
Dip yourself in the river. Dip yourself in the river.
Dip yourself in the river.
I need directions!
That's ridiculous.
There are no directions.
There are no directions.
I remember. Take the main road to the west bypass. Take that to the motorway. You'll come over a bridge. Go 3 miles. Duck Creek Park will be on your left. Take the right down Fernwood Avenue. Go straight down Fernwood, past 2 crossroads. Take the right down Forest Road. Go straight past the first entrance on the right. Take the second one. Go 100 yards. You'll see a red brick house. Go inside. In the living room, look out the window. You'll see the lights on the river. Take off your shoes and go outside. Walk down the hill. There'll be a tree, good for climbing on the right. Cross the road, watch for traffic. Cross the train tracks. Catfish will be sleeping in the mud on your left. Roll up your jeans, put your feet in the river. Count to 10 and swim.
my room? Where's my room? Answer me!
It's none of our business.
What are you doing here?
Be of your husband.
Up there.
Where's my father? Why is he sleeping? I've come back!
I can't hear you.
It's too late.
What do you mean?
He dipped himself in the river.
My father did not dip himself in the river.
He did.
We saw him.
He did not!
He wanted some peace and quiet.
Well, wake up. I'll teach you the words again, and then we can know each other. Ready? We'll start with my name. E-U-R-Y.
I can't hear you.
He can't see. He can't hear you. Shut up! I hate you! I've always hated you. Listen, I'll tell you a story.
Try speaking in the language of stone.
Yes, a very quiet language, like if the pores in your face open up and try to talk.
Stone. Rock. Tree.
Didn't you already warn your father once, young lady?
Some things should be left well enough alone.
Two or twice successive.
Some more 3 times a sin.
Life is like a good meal. Only gluttons want more when they finish their helping.
Learn to be more moderate.
It's weird for dead people to be morbid.
We don't like to watch
They
it.
don't like to see it. It makes me uncomfortable.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
Learn the art of keeping busy.
It's hard to keep busy when you're dead.
It's not hard. We keep busy and we like it. We're busy, busy, busy stones. Watch us work, keeping still, keeping quiet. It's hard work to be a stone. No time for crying. No, no, no. Go ahead, try to hit us. You'll hurt your face.
You'll break your hand. Is there a problem here?
No, sir.
Good. You've decided to stick around. Perhaps to be my bride.
I told you already, you're too young.
I've grown.
Yes, I can see that.
Start preparing the satins and silks. You can't deny me. I've made my choice.
Well, can I have a moment to prepare myself?
Don't be too long. The wedding songs have already been written. They're inaudible. A dirt-filled orchestra for my bride. A song is 2 dead bodies rubbing under the covers to keep warm.
Well. You had better prepare yourself.
There's nothing to prepare.
You better comb your hair.
You better find a veil.
I don't need a veil. I need a pen.
Pens are forbidden
I need a
here.
pencil then.
Oh, pencils too.
Damn you! I'll dip you in the river.
Too late. Too
There
late.
must be a pen. Pen. Dear Orpheus, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I was frightened. I'm not worthy of you. I still love you. I think. Don't try to find me again. You'd be lonely for music, and I want you to be happy. I want you to get married again. I'm going to write out instructions for your next wife. To my husband's next wife. Be gentle. And be sure to comb his hair when it's wet. And do not fail to notice that his face flushes pink like a bride's when you kiss him. Give him lots to eat. He forgets to eat and he gets cranky. And when he's sad, kiss his forehead and I will thank you. For he is a young prince and his robes are too heavy on him. His crown falls down around his ears. I'll give this letter to a worm. I hope he finds you. Love, Eurydice.